and I'm just going to get going, make my screen big so I can, there. And I've got us set up as a gallery. So whoever speaks, they're going to turn green. And that's how that works, so that not one person's face is huge. So that's how you should be seeing this call right now. I'm not sure if you are. You may be able to control that on your own. If you just like move your mouse around, you could see speaker view or gallery view, and you can choose the one that you want. But so tonight I want to talk to you guys about momentum. And I want to talk about three things actually tonight. We're going to talk about, goal setting. We're going to talk about community and culture, and we're going to talk about mindset and belief. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is the community and about our team. So right now on this call, I see my team members, which is great. And so let's talk about our team, because that's who's here and that's in your best interest. So on our team, we have a really positive vibe. We have some incredible leaders, and we have some really, we have some people who are starting to run with the business who are really excited, and they really, really want to, do well and rank up and make some money with this, in addition to achieving their health goals. And so the community that we have is really, it's something big. And, I think the most important thing is for everybody to know that we're part of something that's really, really special and really big, in the sense that we are helping people every single day achieve health goals and financial goals. And I think that it's really important that we talk about that we are part of something big, and that you belong to something that's not just a sort of cookie cutter, punch in, punch out, but this team cares. And we have, I know, for example, that when I'm busy and people know I'm busy, they reach out to somebody else for help, and that person's so quick to help them. And then conversely, when I know that maybe somebody needs help, I reach out to them, just like I know that you guys do. You're also supporting each other online when you're posting, and you come on the team page and you rally on posts there too. That all is part of the community of Plexus. It's all about support, having a strong team culture, and being really like a Plexus family. And that's how I see us. And that's, we are separated sometimes geographically, but I know that that spirit and energy is there. And I want to say that I'm really proud to be part of that with all of you guys. I'll give you guys a little nugget because you're on the call. But our team name is soon to change, because I'm really not happy with it being Tanya's Tenacious Team, because this is our team. We're in this together. And so I'll give you that nugget because you're here tonight, but you'll see some things evolving in the next couple of weeks. But I do love that you guys are so, you're down with helping each other out. You're quick to help somebody out, whether it's to say, hey, listen, try it this way, or to just rally behind them if they're feeling a little unsure of themselves. And really jumping in with both feet when we have training and all of those things. So thank you for that. And I appreciate that very much. And part of that, that positive team culture is the bonding that comes from that, even though many of us have never met face to face. But that's all going to start to happen. Like Velvet, I got a chance to have coffee with you last week. Or no, it wasn't. It was wine. Sorry. And it was a really good one in Fredericton. And that was really fun because I haven't seen you in a really long time. I'm heading to Bathurst this Friday, and I get to meet with a lot of Barb's downline. So that's Vicky and her team, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And I would really like to get out to St. John soon. We were supposed to do that in Quispam area so that I can meet up with you folks and have an opportunity to meet up with you guys face to face, and really just kind of like keep pouring into each other. Because if we don't have sideline brothers and sisters or team brothers and sisters in this, and you feel alone, it's a lot more difficult to keep your energy and keep doing the daily, especially in times of slowed momentum. Okay. So that's why the community is so important. When you belong to a group that makes you feel like you're valuable and you're special and that you have a voice, it makes you come back to that group. You can be a giver and you can be a taker when you need to be one. And that's what community is about. So I'm just really thankful that we have that. And that's what makes it so easy for me to talk to you about this tricky concept of momentum. Because I know that I can just come right out and say, what is the nuts and bolts, the black and white, the truth about what happens with momentum. So I don't know if you saw my graphic that I used for the post for the team training, but it was, this stick figure guy, and he's trying to like push this boulder up a hill. I did a Facebook Live about this today too on our live training page. But pushing a boulder up a hill, a huge boulder that's twice the size of you, may feel impossible sometimes. And pushing that boulder up that hill may seem like you're never going to get there. And sometimes that's what happens to momentum in your business. So let's talk about this from two perspectives. Let's say you've had incredible momentum before, whereby you have seen that boulder go over the crest of the hill and it starts rolling down. You don't have to push anymore. It's just going, and it's got momentum, and it's just going, and it's got great positive energy. That's your team growing. Customers are there. You're getting residual income, and you've experienced that. Some of us have experienced that, okay? If you have experienced that, it can be very disheartening to then go back to pushing the boulder up the hill again, okay? Now, I told you I was going to come to you from two streams here. The other stream is, let's say you're just getting started, okay? And you never, ever had the ball go down the hill yet. You've only been pushing up and pushing up and pushing up. The thing is, if you keep pushing that ball up the hill consistently, and the pushing means doing the daily things that you need to do, then what's going to happen is that ball is going to crest that hill, and it is going to go down. I want to draw a picture of this. And there's another team training on momentum on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to check it out, it's from a few months ago. Actually, I think this is the picture that I drew. Oh my goodness, it is. That was not staged. This is real. So you start out your business here, and you're pushing that boulder up the hill, and you get here and stuff starts to happen. You feel like you've got some good stuff going on. Things are coming to fruition. People are starting to seem like they're going to make commitments. They're going to make decisions. And then, woohoo, this is so much fun right here. This is so fun, because this is where you start to see growth. Okay. You're growing ambassadors, you're growing customers, you're getting paid much more than you were getting paid over here. Okay. And then sometimes, actually most of the time, even diamonds will tell you that they do this again. And if you ask Krista, she will tell you that she does this again. And I would definitely implore you to ask her, because it's real and it's in every multi-level marketing business. And I would also, even though I've never had a brick and mortar business before, I know that that's the case, because we have an ebb and a flow to every single business. Okay. So if you are here, we need to talk about what you can do to get here and down here. We need to talk about the third goal that I said that we were going to talk about, which is mindset. Okay. So let's talk about that for a minute. We're going to talk about what you need to do to get there actually in your business, but I want to talk about mindset for a second, because it's a pretty powerful thing. So when I started with Plexus, I really didn't understand that piece at all. And last August, and this is the reason for this training tonight, guys, is because last year, May, June, July rocked for me. That ball was just going down the hill super fast. I ranked up really fast, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? In August, I hit the wall. My momentum stopped. I went from enrolling 30 ambassadors every single month to enrolling 1 or 2. And that really knocked the wind out of my sails. I'm just going to be honest with you. I thought I had the right mindset. Of course I had the right mindset. I had only good things happening. Who's not going to be happy and feel like, the world is easy if you've got everything going your way? But I didn't have everything going my way in August. As a matter of fact, it was on this day last year that I went to Plexus headquarters with Julie. We won the Silver Stars trip, which means that we had the most silvers on our team in any given month. And so we won the trip for that particular month of the year. So away we went to Arizona, and I never voiced this to Julie, but I was panicked because I knew that we were halfway through the month or more, and that I didn't have that momentum, and I couldn't understand it because I was doing nothing different. I really wasn't. I was doing my daily IPA. I was following up with my potentials. I was making sure to reach down into my downline and support my team. I was doing all the things that I'm supposed to do every single day, and my boulder stopped. So I had to get behind it and push it back up the hill again. And let me just tell you, it would have been really easy for me to quit because it was really, really hard. So what I did was I dug really deep, and I might cry. And I just decided that was it. I was not going to give up. Okay, I'm going to pull it together. This is how I felt last August, in the sense that I was emotional, okay? Now I'm this way because I know what it took for me to come back around, and I can tell you that it is possible, okay? So if you're feeling right now like all you've done is push that boulder up the hill, let me just tell you that you can get it to the crest of the hill, and you're going to make it roll really, really fast if you can get behind yourself. You need to be your biggest cheerleader. And if you need an accountability partner to help you every single day and to get you through that struggle of getting that ball up the hill, by all means, ask me. I can be your daily check-in friend or whatever you need, okay? I thought I had the right kind of belief, but I hadn't experienced that sort of downtrodden part of the business yet. When I did, this is what I did. I ignored it first. Okay, I ignored it. Remember, I told you though, I never stopped doing my daily. Not once did I stop. Okay, but I think that because I lost my confidence and I lost my belief, not in the company, not in the products, in myself, I think people could tell. I think that my potentials and my team, I think they knew. And so now I'm going to tell you that Julie and I had a heart-to-heart when we were in Arizona because she could tell. So, bringing it back around for me made me realize that I needed to stand up, brush myself off, and change the way I was thinking. I was not a failure. I was not good at this. I wasn't done. This wasn't as far as I was going to go in this business. I needed to train myself back around and say, I choose to continue to do this and to better myself as much as I possibly can every single day. And that's what I did. And guess what? I continue to do that every single day. So for example, a way that I have helped that is doing positive readings. And I do say positive affirmations every single day to myself. And I do have them visible to me. They're on my phone, they're in my room, and I have a spare room with all my Plexus stuff. They scream in there. I've got a vision board in there with all the reasons that I'm doing this, that I made with my team last year. I poured into myself and allowed myself to believe in myself the right way. In other words, things are going to be tough sometimes, but if you quit, you're never going to know how far you could get. And, allowing negativity to kind of, pour a blanket over you and giving up on yourself, that's not something that you want to do. You want to keep going. And the most important, like I said, the most important thing is that you don't stop doing the daily things that are required. And I want to talk about those in just a minute, but I just want to stay on this whole mindset piece first. Okay. Krista did a post today about, it was a Facebook Live, and it was on the Facebook Live training page where she did it. If you're not on that page and you want me to add you, send me a private message and I'll add you to the page. Okay. But she did a quite lengthy Facebook Live on there today. Lengthy in the sense that it was long for a Facebook Live, but it was full of really good information. You should go and watch it. She shares with you how she uses attraction marketing to brand herself, and how she does that. But in and amongst the training, she talked about the fact that she pulled back for a little while and wasn't being consistent, and that she noticed a huge difference. Okay. For her, the stepping back piece had to do with mindset, not in her belief, but just in where she was at the time. So you really have to do that daily and be as authentic as you can. And if you are feeling positive about you and where you're coming from, that is going to radiate out in your conversations and everything else that you do. If you're just posting to post, or if you're just trying to get the words out, people are going to know that. And if you just copy and paste other people's posts and don't change any of the wording or change the picture, then that probably doesn't look like you either, right? So you really need to dig deep, find that belief. And if you would like to know of some books that you can read and stuff like that, I'll throw those up on our team page afterward. There's like things, I just lost it. Ways to talk to yourself, or things I say to myself. Anyway, that's a great book. It's on my bookshelf upstairs. I'll quote that for you guys after. And there's all kinds of great books like that to say when you talk to yourself. Thank you. And there's all kinds of great books like that I used to think that stuff was really cheesy, but now I understand why it's so important. Okay. So, everybody, no matter what stage of Plexus they're in, or any business for that matter, everybody experiences a lack of momentum. I would never make an excuse for a season or a month, but I will tell you that for 2 consecutive Augusts, that has been the case for me. And if you look across Freedom Revolution, there are very few welcomes happening, even on the larger team. Okay. It's called August. People are sucking up the rest of the summer that they can get, and their minds are not on routine or things, where they have to make a commitment. People are trying to avoid commitment. Okay, right now. So not making excuses. I still am doing the same daily every single day. And that's really, really important for you guys to do that. Okay, so we've talked about community, and we've talked about mindset, confidence, and self-belief. And if you're jumping on late, I'll post the recording after, or I'll send it to you if you'd like it, or whatever. I'd like to move on to step 3 of this training tonight, and that is goal setting. So goal setting is so important. You got to know where you're going, and you need to have a game plan. Okay. So I have a challenge for you all, and I want you to set it now, and I want you to have your sights on September, okay? But you can still be starting to sort of spin your tires for it now, okay? I want you to create 2 goals for yourself. I want the first goal to be a must-have goal. So this is the thing you must be able to attain. So it shouldn't be diamond, because that would be impossible for all of us. But it should be something like, a goal that you can manage. Like maybe you would like to have a new customer. Maybe you'd like to go silver. Maybe you would like to go gold. Maybe you would like to get a combination of any 3, like maybe 2 preferred customers and an ambassador, or vice versa. Okay, maybe you want 3 new people no matter what they are. So make a must-have goal that's attainable, that's reasonable, that's smart, okay? One that you can manage. The other one, I want it to be a crazy, big, hairy, audacious goal, okay? BHAG. Now, a good BHAG for you would be one that you've not been able to attain yet, but it would be a dream of yours. Like maybe you want to add 10 people to your team, or maybe you want to add 5 people to your team, or maybe you want your PV to be $1,700, or any combination thereof. But I want you to write it down I want you to put it somewhere, put it with your affirmations, put it in your planner, put it with your follow-up sheets or whatever, however you're managing all of that. But I think it would be great for you all to have a must-have and you all to have a crazy BHAG goal. And not one that you couldn't attain, but one that's substantial compared to your must-have. Okay, so 2 goals: must-have, crazy, big, hairy, audacious goal. Those things, those goals are going to help you plan and organize September and the rest of August. Okay. Now, since again we have only people on our team on the call, I would like to just draw your attention to this. And I know, Marilyn, you've seen it because you liked it on the team page. I'm just going to share my screen. And where is it? Okay, sorry. Sorry, my brain just stopped working. Is it up there already? No. There we go. Squirrel. Okay, so I don't know how many of you guys have seen this. This just came out an hour ago. Here's an incentive to help you with that goal setting to propel us all into September. So don't think, okay, well, in September, I'll do this. No, because this expires in August, okay? But it's going to help set you up for September because you're going to start doing the daily things you need to do. So the end of August incentive is all new ambassadors with a welcome pack and convenience order on, okay, because we need people to get those on. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We'll receive a $25 cash back from me, okay? This is very similar to last month. The exception would be convenience order on. Notice the starred points here. This offer extends to August 30th at midnight. The reason for that and not the 31st is just so that we can wrap things up properly. And this offer is applicable to only 1 member per household or family. Okay, so that is the offer that I have on the table to help inspire you through to the rest of the month. Okay, now one thing I'll tell you is that I personally cannot motivate anybody. Like when somebody says, oh, that person really motivates me, I think what they really mean is that person inspires me. I'm inspired by leaders. I'm inspired by people who are awesome relationship builders and know how to really reach out to people and connect. Like I'm really inspired by those things. But those things don't motivate me. I have to motivate me. Okay. So I want you to think about that too as you look ahead. Like, are you motivated to do this? Are you doing what you need to do every day in order to make it happen? Okay. So let me give you an example of a couple of other notes that I've made here. Okay. So I told you that I'd talk about what we need to do to get the job done. So let's talk about those things. So number 1, we have an income producing activity checklist. We've got a couple of them going actually. The most important thing that you can do every day, besides post on social media so that your audience knows that you're serious and that you're not going anywhere, is you should be talking to people. That's it, talking to people. But that has different streams to it. So let me continue. So talking to people means you have conversations going in Messenger probably, maybe even by email. You probably have conversations going with people in your physical environment, like maybe it's not a full-on Plexus conversation. It might just be the start to something down an avenue. So, for example, one of my neighbors, she just moved into the area, not in the area, but onto my street. And she was outside tonight talking about her lactose intolerance and the fact that every time she has anything like cheese or ice cream or any of that stuff, she's bloated and she gets inflammation in her body. She was describing it to me and I said, wow, that sounds really difficult. And I never talked about Plexus with her at all. We just got the conversation going and we're getting to know each other because she's a neighbor and because her children are the same age as my daughter. And she's really sweet. We took the kids to the lake today. I had all kinds of chances to say Plexus, Plexus, Plexus. I wore my hat, not for her, but because I like my hat, and it was the beach. But I'm waiting until it's right to talk to her about that. It's just not the right time yet. That's still income producing activity. That's still talking to people. That's still building relationships. So every time you do that, you're adding to the layers of your business. Now, if I never continue that relationship and never bring up Plexus with her, then I've still got a great friend, a new friend, and that's awesome, but that's not IPA. Okay? So the disconnect sometimes can be this. We have a conversation going with somebody, and let's say it's a conversation where we are talking about Plexus. That conversation stops. Usually, it's the other person's decision, obviously. It's not going to be your decision to stop that conversation. The conversation stops, and you sit there. And guess what happens? We get scared to reach back out because A, we don't know what to say. B, we're scared that they're going to reject us. Or C, I don't know, we're just scared we're never going to hear from them again, I guess. Okay. So the real fortune in network marketing is in the follow-up. You can talk to 600 people every single day. And if you never talk to them again, you've wasted your time. Only 8% of people are going to join your opportunity, your product, whatever, the first time you talk to them. Only 8%. And I'm not talking about the first message. I'm talking about, it could be like an evening of messages. That's one time. That's one conversation. Okay. You need to talk to somebody 8, 9, 10 times to convert them at 80%. Okay. So if you really want that person to come on side, you know they need the products, you know they need the opportunity, but you got to give them time to warm up to the whole idea, get them to like, know, and trust that this is going to be the right thing for them. Okay. So that follow-up is really, it's like the most important. So let's say if I had a choice right now, okay, with all the people that I've talked to, if I had a choice to find new people right now in this moment or follow up, because I only have 15 minutes, I follow up because the fortune's in the follow-up. If you've talked to 30 people and not one of those 30 people has yet to, sort of show warmth to the idea, go back to those 30 people or go back to 3 a day or 4 a day or whatever you can manage. But the follow-up, like when I do my follow-ups, I do them in clumps. And all of a sudden I can't get away from my phone because it's just blown up. And it's not that I'm closing sales. It's not that people are ordering or joining my team, but the conversations continue to go. People need to like, know, and trust you, but also the opportunity or the product, or they're not going to go near it ever. Okay. And sometimes that's 8, 9, 10 times. If you're looking for the words to say to do the follow-up, there are a ton more people than me with tons more experience than me. I always just really speak from the heart and I keep it as simple as I can. I promise you guys, I'm going to I'm just writing this down. I'm going to throw some follow-up videos on the team page for you afterward. But it's really all about this. If you were sitting on a park bench with somebody, okay, take these messages away and these thumbs away or these fingers that are typing away. You're sitting on a park bench with this person. There's silence. You've been talking about something. There's silence. What do you say to a person when you're in a silent, like a conversation that's gone silent? Like, what do you say? So you have to really think about that, right? So if I'm sitting on a park bench with somebody and we've talked about Plexus and, let's say it's our third conversation. I've asked them for permission to send them a video. They've said yes. Or let's say I've invited them out for a coffee or to have a video chat or something and nothing. I would just say, if I was sitting on a park bench with somebody, I'd say, I really know that you're interested in this. Like I could tell by our conversation. And what I'd like to know is, what else can I provide for you that would give you some value here so that you could see what I'm talking about, or, what else, or like, what is it that is keeping you from jumping in here? and trying the product or doing the business or whatever it is that you've been talking about. That's what I would say to somebody if I was sitting with them on a park bench. It truly is. And, you're sitting there in silence with somebody. If this is a person you have a relationship with already, they like, know, and trust you already. Okay. And so in terms of this, the 8th or the 9th or the 10th time, it's not a specific formula, guys, but the stats tell us that 80% of people will join you for product or opportunity after the 8th, 9th, or 10th time. It becomes a conversion. 8% after the first time. 8. And sometimes time has to elapse for that to happen. I've had people join my team after talking to them for a full year. A full year. So that happens. Okay. I've also had people join me the first time I talked to them. Those were usually people who reached out to me. Okay. So just to recap on that, how do you get that momentum going and how do you get all those conversations happening at the same time? You are in control. You have to be in control. You're the one who has to make the point of contact. You're the one that has to do the following up. I want to put this to you this way. Let's say, and this speaks to convenience orders. Let's talk about convenience orders for a second. Okay, so I've purchased a product and it has an auto ship, but it's an option. That's the situation we're in. Okay, people have the option of the convenience order if they're an ambassador, not if they're a preferred customer, but if they're an ambassador, they do. So if let's say I am joining up with a makeup company, okay, and their skincare products are supposed to last for 30 days, and every 30 days I'm supposed to get another bottle of this magical stuff, whatever it is. So let's say I do not sign up for the auto ship or the convenience order or whatever you want to call it, or the subscription, as we're soon going to see it called in Plexus. So let's say I don't sign up for that. Well, my bottle's looking, starting to look a little low, so I'm going to use a little less. I'm just not going to use as much because it's all the same, right? I'm just going to use a little less. I'm not going to use as much. And I can stretch it out. I don't need that convenience order right now. Then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I don't know if that really helped me anyway at all. I still got these and I'm not interested. I'm just, I think I need that money. School's starting. I think I need that money for my kids' Roots backpack or something. I'm just making that up, but that's what people do. Any excuse. Excuses are so easy to make. If the convenience order is on, people don't make excuses. People are not going to follow back up with you because they'll have every excuse in the book. Same deal. Same thing. Excuses are easy to make. I bet you make them every day. I do. Like some people make these, it's not nice out. I don't think I'll go for my walk, and then the next day, it's too nice out. It's too hot. I'll go tomorrow. It's raining tomorrow. Oh, that's too bad. I'm not going to walk again. That's 3 days I didn't walk. It's easy to make excuses. Okay. So I just wanted to leave that with you guys tonight. I want to talk to you about momentum, the fact that it's really awesome when you've got momentum, that sweet momentum where, I had this picture earlier, I don't know where it went, but anyway, of where your ball is here and it just rolls down the hill and you've got this sweet ride, your business is growing, you're making some money, you're ranking up and it's fantastic. Most of us start here and we push the boulder up the hill, okay? Your boulder's not going anywhere if you don't do those things we just talked about. If you don't have conversations with people all the time, and if you don't follow up with them. And remember, if you have to make a choice between finding new people today and following up today, because you've only got 15 minutes, do the follow-up, because it's going to get you closer to a sale or to a new team member. Okay? All right. We also talked about the community of Plexus and how incredible our team is. And I say that from having conversations with lots of people. We have a nice, strong team. and we have some bonding happening. We have people supporting each other. We have people helping each other out when they realize they're in trouble. I see evidence of it every single day. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think it's really great that we have that culture, and I want us to keep it. So when you feel like you're in trouble, or if stuff like this bothers you, if the momentum thing has you going, oh my gosh, that's it, I shouldn't have done this. If that's how you're feeling, I want you to talk about it. I want you to say, I had somebody today on the Freedom Revolution, when I posted about the momentum piece, somebody sent me a message and said, thank you so much. I mean, they're not here, but that's okay. Thank you so much. This is something I'm really struggling with right now, and I don't know what to do about it. So, I want you guys to come out with that. And if you need to do it privately, do it. And I would be very, very happy to help you through your struggles and see you get there. But the bottom line is, that it's you that has to do that daily. That's the thing. We talked about setting goals for the end of August and September. We talked about having a must-have goal. So that's one that you can you can accomplish it if you do these daily things. And for you, it might be a couple of customers. Maybe you're going to go silver. Maybe you're going to go silver again. Maybe you're going to have a combination of any three. That would be a must-have. That's something you can attain. It's possible. Maybe you want to have a crazy BHAG goal. Actually, not maybe. I'm going to ask you to create one. So maybe for you, that is something that doubles the must-have goal. Or maybe it's that you're going to rank to the next rank. Maybe you're cresting gold and you want to get to gold, and I have to do this to get there, and that's my BHAG. I'm getting there. Maybe you're just starting and you want to get to silver. That's a really great BHAG. So I want you to think about those two things for you, because we are going to have a team check-in about that. Okay. And of course we talked about mindset, belief. If you have any doubts about your ability to do this, don't. If you're here and you've been at these trainings, you have been here and you have seen the incredible momentum that we have had. It is normal to have these dips. And if you weren't here for my little Boohoo Fest earlier, you can watch the replay when I talked about when I lost momentum, it broke my heart. And I thought I had the belief I needed, and that I had to have people pour into me and say to me, this is normal. Let's talk about this. Let's get you to where you need to be. And they had to kind of repair me a little bit. And I'm so thankful that I had them to do that. And that's what I mean about the culture. It's just so incredible. So what I'm going to do now is I am actually going to invite people to ask questions. I'm not going to unmute you because I know there's probably stuff going on in your homes, but if you'd like to ask questions or make a comment or anything, I'd love to field those questions. Or even just like a statement, comment, whatever.
Hey, Tanya.
Hey.
I wanted to ask you about the convenience orders, because where I just had an ambassador sign up and they don't have a convenience order on. And I've approached her twice now through Messenger, asking her to turn it on, but she hasn't. So how do you approach people that don't?
Did she tell you why she doesn't want to have it turned on?
Not yet. Like she just hasn't answered me. So I don't know if she just hasn't had the time to go through where it's all new, or she doesn't know how. So, I messaged her again today saying, if you need any help, let me know. I don't want you to run out of product, 30 days in.
Yep. And that, you know what, that's all you can do.
Okay.
That's all you can do, because you can't make anybody turn it on.
Right.
I think a year ago, when Plexus came out with this, you don't have to have it turned on anymore. It used to be you had to have it on and you had to have your PV to get paid.
Okay.
Excuse me. Or no, I think you even just had to have it on to be an ambassador. I can't remember which. Or I think maybe it was both. I can't remember. But they did away with it in August. And I remember going, because I knew what that would mean. Some people are great at going in and manually ordering, but most people are not going to, for the reasons that I mentioned earlier, right? They're going to make excuses for reasons that, and they're going to try to stretch out their product. which does not work with these products.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
take them consistently, and you have to take the right amount. So, yeah, I think that's hard. But something else that can happen is then your sponsor reaches down and says, which would be me, reaches
Yeah.
down and says, "Hey, welcome, welcome." And then I won't say anything about the convenience order, just get a relationship going with them. And then I'll be able to kind of sneak that in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's where the support
Great.
piece comes from. Yeah. So I
So
will do that. I will do
yeah,
that. Mhm.
perfect. And one other thing that happened to me today when I was following up
Mhm.
with someone, so I asked, have you thought any more about the product? And they came back and said, I did my research and it's all negative reviews. I'm like,
Awesome.
that's what happens when you look it up on the internet. Like,
Yes.
so I was like, okay, can I add you to Opportunity of Hope so you can see some positive, results? I said I wouldn't be promoting something that, I don't believe in. It's
Mhm.
been, a blessing, blah, blah, blah. So
Okay.
I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did. And I guess when I'm talking to people, I always make it a standard practice, or I try to always remember to make it a standard practice to ask people to Google the ingredients.
Okay.
And so what I do is I send them, like in our back office under the files section, there's the complete list of products and ingredients. And in their back office,
Yeah, under the shareables.
actually no, if you don't even, because if you want to send them all the ingredients
Okay.
at once, if you go in the library,
Yep.
they're listed in the library.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just pulled that out for somebody the other day. And then encourage them to Google the ingredients instead of the product, yeah, and the company. Now, it's
Great.
interesting because the way that works, in case people on the call don't know this, is that Google sells ad space just like your local newspaper does.
Mm.
And those are called Google sponsored ads. And I'll show you what they look like. So I'm just going to Google. This is where you see keywords come into play. So I'm going to Google weight loss pills. Look at this. See this? If I scroll down a little bit further, I'm going to start to see all kinds of things about weight loss. Okay, all kinds of different programs or companies and all that kind of stuff. I can see results about this anti-obesity medication. These are all going to be things you can shop for. And you'll notice Plexus won't come up because we have ambassadors that work for us. We don't have stores and stuff like that. Now, those are coming up at the top because these people have paid to have their product at the top of Google's banner, sorry. And so they pay big bucks to get, like, Pure Garcinia Cambogia pays big bucks to have that up there, okay? But we can do the same thing. Those companies can do the same thing when we Google Plexus. Now, that's unusual to see Plexus first. So Plexus is obviously pouring some money into this too. Okay, so this looks like a website, okay? And notice it's dietsinreview.com. They could probably have been a little smarter about that. But they're making it look like, I'm going to guess, they're going to make it look like, they make it look like a blog post, okay? So they're not making it look like something that, you're going to buy. But they're not making it look like a salesy website necessarily, but it looks like a blog post where they're doing a review. But if you look down through this, there's all kinds of places, all kinds of things you can click on. So this person is selling ad space to all these people so that they will buy those other products. And so they can make an incredibly compelling argument because it's easy to do with copy. Copy is they're just words that we use in advertisements. So it's crazy. liver toxic in mice. Like, really? So this is, and then versus the top 10. See these top 10 over there? Those are the same products that we would have seen in that Google sponsored ad on the previous page. So when people talk about, I'm just going to get back over to the Zoom here. When people talk about, that Plexus is getting bad reviews, I say, yeah, it is. Absolutely. By the companies that want you to buy their products. And if you click on one of those products, immediately what's going to happen is that company, by whoever has that blog post, is going to get billed for that person, because basically they're acting as a carrier of advertising for that company. So it's all very corrupt and very nasty. There's a girl named Betty. Actually, it's probably not a girl, but Betty has all these blog posts and stuff like that on the internet. And then there's so many different places where she highlights a couple of words and she hides her hyperlink behind those words. So you click on the words and all of a sudden you're in Betty land, whatever Betty sells. And so it's not very couth, but it's not illegal. And so companies get away with it on the internet all the time. Kent is on the call. Kent, I was at your house one night doing a sip and see. And we had a room full of people. There was like 14, 15 people who attended the sip and see at Barb and Kent's house. And there was a lady there, and she said, I have to address the elephant in the room. And I said, okay, go ahead. And I had finished my presentation. She waited. And she said, there's all this bad stuff on the internet, and I have to talk about it. And I said, I'm so glad you said that. So I stopped everything. I went online because my TV was projecting to her, or my computer was projecting to their TV through Apple TV. And we literally went online and we found all the stuff she had found, and we scoured it. I clicked on all the links, and she's like, oh. And it's not necessarily true that everybody would know that about the internet. Let's think about that. Think about how many people are online every single day, and how many bazillions of websites there are, and how many keywords that Google uses. And they have, these companies have people who know what these key AdWords are, so that when people Google stuff, these companies pay good money to have them topped up to the top. And then you, the consumer, you decide not to buy whatever it is. Right? And it's interesting because, something that I found kind of funny that I heard was, I Googled Plexus and it's really bad for you. And I'm like, I Googled eggs and they're really bad for you too. There's that whole side of things. Now, that's not something I would say that to my brother if he said something bad about Plexus, maybe not to my prospect. I don't know, but it's just something to think about. But excellent points, both of them, Velvet. Thank you. Anybody else have some questions, words, anything?
Tanya, you mentioned earlier about on Chris's friendship page, tracking marketing. Which page is that?
We have a Facebook Live training group. I can add you to that if you want.
Yes.
Okay. It's there's homework for today, actually, so you could go and do some homework.
Oh yeah, homework.
The homework is very easy, and I only post it every 3 or 4 days. But Krista went on today and did a Facebook Live about sort of how she's using attraction marketing to build her audience. And she showed how strategically she posts something of great interest that's not Plexus. And then what will end up happening is that item of great interest stimulates the traffic to her page. And then the next post will be very Plexus-y. So that she's got the traffic is going to her page, and they can't help, due to the algorithm, they can't help but see her next big but her next big post about Plexus. So yeah, I'll add you to that Facebook Live. And if anybody else wants to belong to that, you don't have to do a Facebook Live if you're in the group. If you just want to watch and study and learn that way about how to do these crazy things.
I still haven't done my homework for the first time.
Oh, that's okay. There was no deadline. It's really just a page where people can practice doing them on the page, or they can, or you can just take it to the thing. Like I noticed Angela Wilberg, I think is her name. She did a few practice runs on the Facebook Live page. And then I noticed that she was live this evening when I was out on the bikes with my kids. I wasn't on my phone on the bike. I was just standing watching them. But she was out on her horse. So it was kind of cool. Yeah. But yeah, the homework is easy. It's some pretty good training. It's some training that I've been doing, and I'm just sort of reflecting it to this page. And it's just about how to do a Facebook Live basically and not lose your audience, and how to grab them in the first 7 seconds and keep them with you for the content, how to offer them value, how to keep them with you, that sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Other questions?
This isn't really a question, and I'm not sure how relevant it is, but we were talking about signing up new ambassadors and with the welcome pack and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's what we try and get them to do. I don't know why it didn't click with me earlier than right now. I think just a couple of days ago, I was messaging with, I don't know who I had messaged, and I said, wait a minute, is this the way it is? Is that when I'm really close to gold,
Mm-hmm.
and I was realizing, wait a minute, if they buy the welcome pack, I don't get the 5 points.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, is there any way I'm going to be able to do that this month where it's the double bonus?
Sorry.
No, go ahead. So I've got a girl at work who stopped and talked to me today, and actually the products that I think we're going to set her up with doesn't come in a welcome pack. I didn't do that because of that reason. But, I just said to her, I said, with everything that I've told you, is this what you think you want? Yes, it is. And then I explained to her how it works and what the welcome packs are. And I said, if this is what you want to start with, then we'll start with these. And then within the 30 days, we'll look and see what the welcome packs are. And if you only want the slim out of it, I'll buy the other 2 from you. And I have a few other people that I think are close to signing up that I know them well enough that I could say, look, buy your products this time for the, whatever, and we'll get your welcome pack the next month, because I'm trying to reach this goal. But yeah, I don't know why that didn't click with me before. I mean, I knew the facts, but it wasn't in my head.
I hear what you're saying. So when I ranked senior gold, I did that. I think I was 15 points. So I had 3 people that were signing up, and I signed them all up straight out of the welcome pack. So not to the welcome pack. One of them was like your person. They weren't interested in one of the welcome packs anyway. So it was a moot point. But the others were. And so I said, you know what, I can give you the $99 deal next month, is how I put it to them. And I said, but for this first month, it'll be $114.95. And then next month, it's going to be $99. And they're like, that's a great deal. That's all I said.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we honored that I just made sure I helped them do it and get that run through for them. So it honored it. But yeah. And I don't know if you saw the incentive, Tammy, on the team page.
I did. I just saw it when you were talking about it, when you first brought it up. And
yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And right now I'm offering to cover the sign-up fee as well. That's another question that I have. Mm-hmm. I still owe Marilyn for hers. When you do that, do you do the conversion? Like, do you give them $34.95 Canadian, or do you do I never know what to do.
So if I offer to cover the membership fee, I do the American.
Okay.
Because I'm offering, if I had said I will cash you back $35, that's different.
Right.
If I say I'm covering the membership fee, then I do the conversion rate on the day that they ordered.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And no one's ever questioned me on this wasn't the right amount or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I usually just sit down and do them all at once, and it doesn't take long.
I've got to figure out how to figure out the conversion rate, because I don't know.
Oh, let me show you all how to do that.
And can you go back dates? Like, can you look at a different date?
I'm not sure. Let's find it. Yes, you can, because that's how I do it. All right. So I just Google currency. Oh, we're frozen. Currency converter. And this comes up. And this is the Bank of Canada. I always use this.
Okay.
So if I put the US dollar in, so let's say the bag of Slim. Whoa, that was expensive bag of Slim. No decimal point there. Okay, so there's your bag of Slim, for example. But I also always go to the team page on the Canadian price list that we have. So I can give them the shipping, I can give them the to your door price. But if I was figuring something out that I had to do on a cash back or an incentive back, then this is where I do it.
Okay.
Now where is it? Now this is live rates, but you can go back. Hang on. Where is it? I may have to dig and put this on the team page.
Okay. I can search around too.
Yeah. It's not hard.
Okay.
I just can't remember right now. Tools, maybe. Oh, here we go. Whoops.
Okay.
Yeah, there it is. Historical currency rates under tools.
Okay.
So that's the XE page you want to do that on. Cool. I'll go back over to our Zoom. I can't see anybody anymore. Here. Beautiful. Excellent question. And so, yeah, when you're ranking up, if you want to go straight to points, once you get past, for silver, points doesn't come into the equation. It's just you have 3 people that are qualified. But when you're vying for gold or above and points are the indicator, then people do that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen people sign up their spouse in those moments. I've seen people do all kinds of things.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about that too, but I'm very competitive with myself and I don't want the easy way out. But if it's August the 30th, then he may be becoming an ambassador.
And you have 95 points.
If it's for $500.
Yeah, well, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not out the cost of product because you're going to consume it.
Right.
And yeah. Yeah. No, I'm glad that was a great statement to make. And yeah, so that's cool. Awesome. Groovy. Some people haven't asked anything yet, but you can.
I got another question.
Oh, go.
Yeah. If you were to have a preferred customer and you want to offer the wholesale price to go to Ambassador, they still buy the welcome pack?
That depends.
Or no?
I always, if they're buying the products that are in a welcome pack, you're doing them a favor because it's the cheapest they'll ever get it. It's $99 for a welcome pack.
Okay.
Versus $114.95.
Okay.
So when you're converting somebody from preferred, you also want to make sure, I think that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, going from preferred to the wholesaler like Ambassador.
Right.
Because I know my preferred customers, she's ordering less and less to kind of keep her price down.
Mm-hmm. And is she taking the triplex?
I don't think she's taking all the triplex now because she's cut it back.
Okay. If she's not taking 3 products and so let me rephrase this.
I think she's taking 2 if I'm reading the online correctly.
Okay, so you don't want her to be an ambassador then because
more wholesale, just to get the price for the best value for her.
Okay, but that's not going to do anything for your business, Kent, because people need to take a bag of Slim and 2 other products in order for them to become an ambassador. They don't have to, but they're not going to do your team any good. They're not going to bring you any financial gains whatsoever if they are an ambassador with only a bag of Slim and the ProBio 5, or a bag of Slim and the X Factor, or the ProBio 5 and the BioCleanse. Okay. So most ambassadors take at least 3 products and one of them is the Slim.
Okay.
To be over the 100, right?
Over the 100 PV. That's right. There's no point in having a preferred customer transfer. I understand that you'd want to do her a favor by offering her the wholesale cost, but she's not actually going to, like, the bonuses, the product bonuses and the commissions that you're getting off of her current status will be gone, and you'll make no profit shares from her because she doesn't have her 100 PV.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good questions tonight.
Hi.
Hey, MJ. How are you?
What's the difference between on the convenience orders, unconditional and conditional?
Love it. Okay. So, Tammy, why don't you answer that? Oh, unmute yourself.
Okay, I'll give it a whirl.
Okay.
So if somebody has it set to conditional, then that means that that order will only ship out if you don't have any other orders going through your website. So if you don't have any customers, then your order will ship. If you have other customers and it's going to be over the 100, your order itself won't ship. That's just sort of something there to make sure that you get your 100 so that you qualify. I have mine set as conditional just because I change my order so much every month. I've got 4 of us in the house taking it, so I have to look at my stock and see what I'm getting, and I change it, or if I'm ordering Slim for a challenge or something. So I don't want it to ship automatically because I want to change it. Most of the time people set it as unconditional so that you just get your product that you want every month.
Okay.
I probably was too confusing.
No, it was great. Thank you. I have
So
mine. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Add to that, if you wanted to add to your conditional order,
Mm-hmm.
do you make it, do you change that? Do you change the unconditional to conditional, or do you?
Yeah, like if you know you want that order to ship no matter what, put it unconditional.
Okay.
Sorry.
Then either add to it or do a new convenience order?
Yep. If you wanted to add product to it, you can just add and then save changes, or you can just delete it and do a whole new one.
Okay.
It's up to you. But I have mine set to conditional because I'm like Tammy. We have a lot of product going through our house every month. And when there's a special on shipping or there's a discount on product for some reason, then I go hog wild and I buy up a bunch of products. So sometimes I have to look at my stock and see what I've got. The main idea is that we want to be qualified with our 100 PV. So let's say you didn't have any customers or any other means of getting your PV, you need your convenience order to go through so you're qualified. Yeah.
So where do you see specials and discounts?
Those are emailed to us as a whole company. We haven't had one in a while. We've had rank up bonuses instead.
Okay.
But everyone's we had a free shipping one, it was free shipping. It was crazy. I ordered so much stuff. This was probably 5 months ago. And then we had
But we're notified of that though, right?
Oh yes. Yeah. We had a flash sale in March of last year, which was 25% off all products. And then in April, it went to 15% off all products. So right now we're sort of on this ranking binge, if you will. And I think we're going to see that September we'll see some sort of back to school thing, or I don't know what it'll be. We all know at the same time. We get an email, it says it. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask you something? Nothing about tonight, but just about a product?
Absolutely.
Okay. I've been taking the accelerator, and I had terrible results at first. Like, my heart was pounding out of my chest.
Okay.
And my whole body would shake and break out into sweats. And I thought, holy cow, is this normal? So I did that for 4 days, and it never got any better. And it lasted for about 2 hours. About an hour after I took it, for about 2 hours afterwards, it was berserk.
Okay.
So I had mentioned to Julie on the weekend, because I knew she had taken or takes the product, and she said, take it after breakfast. Take it with your Slim after breakfast. Well, that did great for 2 days. And then this morning when I took it, I was right back to the way it was again.
Wow. How many capsules are you taking, Marilyn?
Oh, just one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Is that like, have you heard of that before? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, I have, because what happens is it is a stimulant, right? And not that the Slim is not. The Slim is a
No.
stimulant. But the Boost and the Accelerator Plus, they both are stimulants. They do two completely different things. The Boost is a thermogenic. It heats you up from the inside out, and it basically heats up your basal temperature, and it gives you energy and stamina and endurance for your day. Athletes love it because it's great for that. The Accelerator Plus, it literally accelerates your metabolism and your heart rate. So if you're sensitive, and maybe you're not sensitive to this, but do you drink a lot of coffee?
No, I used to. Now, since I started the triplex, I have one in the morning, and
Mhm.
that's it. And then some mornings I only have a half a cup.
Okay.
So it's because I'm losing the taste of sugar,
Yeah. Agreed.
which is a good thing. But
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you what happened to me when I started the Accelerator Plus. I didn't start it until my third month, I think, on Plexus, on my triplex. Yeah, because I went triplex, multivitamin, and then Accelerator Plus. And I found that at the beginning, it gave me the holy jumpins, like just
mm,
I was really supercharged. And then I went back to just one capsule. See, because I took two, because that's what the bottle said. And then I went back to one capsule, and I found that it did the same thing. And then after a while, it didn't. And then I
okay.
added the second capsule. And I took the Accelerator for quite a long time. I never stopped taking it daily until, I want to say, the fall of last year. And I only took a break from it as an experiment because I wanted to see, is it really helping me anymore? Because it isn't like the triplex. It's not a gut health product. It's it can be a one-time supplement. It can be, you can take it long-term. It doesn't, that sort of thing. So, I didn't really find that I missed it all that much. So I stayed away from it for a while, and we have a bottle in the cupboard. So this summer, because I'm home with two little kids and I'm on the fly all the time, I started taking it again, and it has the same effects that it did when I first started taking it. So for me, like, it just puts a pep in my step, and I like the mood enhancer that it has in it. My kids probably have too this summer. But yeah, if you're finding that you've got the heebie-jeebies or the jitters, or you're feeling, a little too, it doesn't feel like energy, it feels like shaky or sweaty, or
Yeah.
then maybe that's not a supplement for you.
Okay.
And
I
now,
just didn't know. I didn't want to do more damage than good if it's actually that's the normal, like you're supposed to feel your heart pounding and stuff. Because Caitlin, my youngest daughter, she takes it and she doesn't feel anything. She goes, I don't get any of that signs or symptoms for it. But
does she take it with the Slim?
yep.
Okay, good, because you really do
Yep.
have to take those two together. Okay,
Yep.
interesting. Well, what we say about the gut health products is that everybody reacts differently. We know they're good for
Yeah.
everybody, but we know that, some people have like serious detox, some people have none, some people have mild, some people have like a couple of headaches and a little bit of fatigue and they're done. Some people have like what they think is this week-long flu. So it just depends on the person. But I will tell you that, I would say I would probably go with, I don't know how you feel about doing this, but just as an experiment, take your capsule, pull it apart, and just dump half into the garbage,
Okay.
and then put it back together. I wouldn't recommend saving the other half or dumping half of it into your drink, because I don't know what that tastes like, and I don't think you should find out. I know that I had a friend who did that with the multivitamin. No, the Edge. It was with the Edge. She did it with the Edge. And she was so sick because it tasted so gross. So we can get the Probio 5 and the X Factor. I get away with it with my kids. I put it in their yogurt, but obviously I'm not going to give my kids Accelerator Plus. So I don't know what that tastes like. My kids do not need that product. Let's just be honest. Anyway, listen, guys, thank you very much for jumping on tonight. And I will find, Kent, I'll add you to the Facebook Live thing. And I'm going to add some follow-up videos to our team page, like just in a post. to give you some follow-up practices, okay? Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Send me a message if you need anything. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.